Hey guys, welcome to another Sudoku solve. We're going to be doing a medium puzzle of 5th May. Typically the way I start these puzzle is to kind of cycle through 1 through 9. Very easy cycling, just go through 1 through 9 and see if there are any constraints and then mark them. Sometimes you're able to solve a cell, but if not, and if you're able to bring it down to two possibilities like here, then we mark it with a corner marking. So one cannot come in this column or in this column. So these are the only two possibilities. So, but if in this case, you look at this box, in this case, these two rows, one cannot come, but the third row has three possibilities. We're not going to be marking that because it just clutters the whole grid. So we're going to avoid that. So let's see, one cannot come here, but there are four possibilities. In this box it is a mini, and in this box there are three. So that's it. Let's go through two very quickly. We cycle through and kind of see. For example, here two cannot come in this column or this row. That means two can come only in these three cells. Here it's interesting, two cannot come here, so we are able to solve this two. And then because we are able to solve this two, and you can see two cannot come in these two columns, it'll be these two positions. Two can come in any of these three, two can come anywhere here, two can come in many places, three can come in these three places, I'm just quickly going through it. You guys can confirm it yourself if you want to solve it together along with me, but there is not much to go with in three. Typically by now, there will be a few more boxes I can fill, cells I can fill, but there are a lot of numbers, but it looks like we're not able to really, solve many cells here. But we'll take whatever we get, even if we get like two candidates, it'll help later. The beauty of actually corner marking, if you have only two possible candidates, is that later eventually if you figure out that maybe this is a 9, you immediately know this has to be 4. So corner marking just the two possibilities, when you are able to bring it down to two possibilities, is very powerful, because in the later stages it helps you solve quickly. Okay, you see this here, 4 cannot come in any of these cells, so 4 has to come here. By the way, proof of the pudding, like if 4 comes here, this has to be 2, because there is no other place for 2. We were just talking about it, right? So this is 2. Then there are 3 places for 4, 2 places, and there are 3 places, many. Then here, 4 places. 5 cannot come in any of this, so 5 is here. And okay, so this 5 can come on only these 2 places. It's restricted to this box. That means 5 cannot come in this column at all, which means and the 5 cannot come in this column. So for this box, 5 has to be in the middle column. There's not much with 5. Okay, actually the 6 we are able to bring it down to 2 possibilities, so let's go through that. 6, there are many 6s here, there are 3 here, and here too there are 3. Okay, here we got a little lucky. You see the 6, so that means this is 6, which means this will be 4. Okay, small mercies. Okay, actually these 2 rows are taken, this column is taken, so 6 is here, and these 2 columns are taken, that means 6 is here. So we are done with sixes except for this box and this box. So what can we tell about the six in this box is that this column is taken, this column is taken, this row is taken. So six has to come in these two places. Okay. So this is even better because six can come into these two places, but can six even come here? Because these two sixes in this box mean six cannot be anywhere in this row, which means this cannot be a six, leaving only this to be a six. That really helps us. And now you can see the power of those marking those two candidates. We are down to only three boxes. 1, 2, 3. We know this box, but we don't know this box because there are too many candidates. So let's go to 7. These two. Oh, sorry. Did I miss it? Yeah, okay. Not this, sorry. Let's go to 7. Yeah, 7 has to be this cell. And okay, 7 is in the bottom. There's only two places for 7 to go. This is 7. That means the 7 has to be in the top here, because you see 7 can only go in the middle, which means it takes out 7 for this entire row. So 7 has to be in this because there is a 7 here. So what can we tell about the 7 here? There are 3 potential locations, so we can't tell much. Here too there are many, so let's move on to 8. 3, it has to be in the bottom row here. Okay, 8 would have to be here because of these two 8s. And then okay, good. So 8 blocks this row, which means 8 has to be here. 8 has to be between these 3, which means this is also blocked for 8. So for this box and this column is blocked, so you have 8 only between these two, so we can mark it. So that was an interesting, even though we couldn't really find out which one is 8, that was an interesting constraint that we found. 8 comes in these 3, 8 comes in this, so between these two there is an 8 between these 6 cells. What about 8 here? We can't tell. It's all the 3 are possibilities. What about 8 here? We can't tell. And here 8 is there. Okay. Yeah. Now 9. Okay, because of these two 9s, 9 can only come here. And then let's see. Okay, the 9 blocks here. 9 can come here. Nine has 3 locations here. 9 has many locations. It's okay. Okay, now we've finished our cycling from 1 to 9. We could go through it one more time and maybe we'll find a few more constraints, because you see these light blue numbers. We filled it up, so that could create a little more constraint. But before we go, before we do that, let's see if we can do something interesting. There are 5 numbers which are filled, 4 numbers which are yet to be filled. So let's see what are the 4 numbers which could go here. I'm going to center mark them because we know only those numbers can go into those cells. So there is no 3, there is no 5, there is no 8 and 9. Yeah, so this one can't have 3, this one can't have 9, this one cannot have 3 and 5. This one I don't like to center mark if there are 4 candidates because it just clutters a lot. So I'm just going to delete this part. So we didn't really find much, but let's see. What about these 4 cells based on this column? Frankly, it's the same. 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9. So it would be 3, 5, 8, 9. Again, it's the same thing. So 3, 8, 5, 8. We haven't really solved much, but we got these things down to 2 or 3 options. What about this one, right? There are 5 numbers, and so 3 unfilled but 1 filled, so 4 candidates. So what are we looking at? 1, 2, I mean, obviously 2 of the candidates will be 3 and 9. So let me put that anyway. 1, 3, 9. We are looking for 1 more. 1, 2, 3, 4 is also not there. So 4, correct? So, okay, we brought this down to about 3 candidates, but this one I don't like. There are 4 candidates. That's too many. Let's go through anything else. No. Yeah, this one has 5 numbers filled, so 4 to be filled. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 is there, 5, 9. Yeah, 1, 2, 5, 9. Interesting. We brought this down to 2 numbers. We brought this down to 3. The rest are all 3. And the 1 can go into many places, 2 can go into many places, 5 can go into many places, and 9 can also. So there's no way we can eliminate anything. What about this? There are only 3, right? 3 cells to be filled and 3 numbers we need. So, and that's obviously has to be 1 to 9. So 1 to 9, but we are not able to find any constraint there. So all the 3 numbers can go into all the 3 cells. That's okay. What about this? Maybe I typically don't do this like solving within the box, but given that there are many boxes with 4 or 5 numbers already filled, we can try our luck. So this requires that there are 4 empty boxes. We know what candidates could go in, but we don't know what candidates go in. So that's why I'm selecting only the blank cells, but we know that it has to be 4 candidates. So that could be 3, 5, 8, 9, because 3, 5, 8 is here, 9 is here. So let's see, 3, 5, 8, 9. That's interesting. So this one would be 3, 5, 3, 5, 8, 3, 5, 8, 9, right? So fine, we brought it to a kind of a manageable level. Now that we are anyway doing it, let's do it for this one too. 3 boxes, 3 cells, and 3 numbers. So 2 of them is 6, 7, and then what else? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is also not there. I remember thinking about 8 earlier. Okay. Okay. That's it. That's all we can do. There's lots of center marked cells at this stage. I typically do not see this much, but let's see if there is any other constraints. 1 can again go into that. Hey, so by the way, 1 can go into 2nd and the 3rd row. 1 can also go into only 2nd and the 3rd row. That means this row needs a 1, but where does it go? It can only go here. So, and then there is a 1 here. So the 1 has to be between these 2. All right. So we figured something there. And 1 can go into these 3. And anything we can say about 1 in this column? Yeah, 1 can come here or here. So actually 1 can come into these 3, but it's crossing the box. So there's nothing we can do to increase, to constrain it. So 1 can go into any of these 4. 1 can go into these 3 places. So we are done. Let's look at 2. 2 can go into, okay, 2 cannot come in the 1st and the 3rd. 2 can come here or here. I'm just going to corner mark just to kind of remind us that 2 can only go into these 3 places, even though we have center mark 2 here. 2, what about 2 here? 2 cannot go into this. 2 can. Okay, I'm seeing a constraint here. See, in this box, 2 can only go into these 3 cells. In this box, 2 can go into these cells. So In both these boxes, 2 cannot go into this column, but this column needs a 2, which means that 2 has to be supplied from here. We don't, I mean, there is a 2 here which is blocking this, so the 2 has to be between these two. But what that does is this cannot be a 2 anymore, right? So 2 has to be between these two numbers, so this will be definitely be a 1. If this is 1, then this cannot be a 1, this cannot also be a 1. That too was interesting, that we could find some constraint to bring it down. So we know 2, we know these two are 2. What about this? It can come in all the last corners. We can come in these 3 places. And that's it. I think 2 we are done. Then let's look at 3. 3 can come here also. And then 3 can come in all these 3 locations, all these 3 cells. 3 can come in many places here. What about here? Can we? No. No. 3, unfortunately, we couldn't make anything out. 4 is in these 3. Okay, 4 we are able to close down. So these 2 column cannot be 4 because we filled this recently, and this is also not a 4. So the 4 only has this place left. And what does that make? 4 has to be in this top row. 4 has to be in the middle, 2, and 4 has to be in the 3 possible 3 places here. So we're not able to make any more progress beyond that. 5 goes here. Okay, so we set 5 here, and these 2 are 5. One of these 2 are 5, and then 5 here. So anything else we can say about 5? I don't think so. There's no information about 5 here. There are too many places. 6. These 2 are 6. This is 6. And then nothing much in 6. 7. Okay. There are 3 places for 7. There is again these 3 places for 7. And here we've decided, we found out that 7 is only in the top row. Yeah, we are not able to go anything beyond. Okay, so here 8 has to be between these 2 places. Let me corner mark just in case I forget. 8 has to be these 2. 8 has to be in the top, right? 8 has to be in the top. So 8 has to be in the bottom. So how can this be 8? Because the 8 has to be only here. So this cannot be an 8. Okay. Not much. Let's see. 9. Okay. 9 blocks this column, so 9 has to be here. Between these 2 is 9. Okay, I should have seen it. Like I've already marked it. 9 can only go here, which means 9 cannot come here, which makes this 3. That means 3 is out of these 2 numbers. And if this row is taken, like this row is blocked by this 3, this has to be a 3. It doesn't have a choice, which means these 2, 3 has to be only in the top 2, which is fine. We already knew that. What else do we know? 3 can come here. Okay. These two threes are blocking these two columns, which means, and this 3 is blocking this cell, which means this is 3. Interesting, because we have 5, 5, 9, 9, 2, 2. That means we'll be able to solve for 3. If this becomes 3, this has to become 5. And if this becomes 5, there's only one place for 9. And if this becomes 9, there's only one place for 2. This will be 2. Yeah, so that's quite interesting. We were able to solve like so many numbers. Next, that's fantastic. So, by the way, this we were at 3. We were cycling to 3, but this column has only 2 numbers left. Let's see if we can figure it out. Like 8 could go, but okay. By the way, we filled 8 of them, so there's only one place for it. One cell left, which means it would be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This has to be 8. If this is 8, this cannot be 8, so this will be 8. And by the way, this 8 makes that 7. And if that becomes 7, this becomes 6, this becomes 6, this becomes 8. This is no longer 8. And if this is 8, this becomes 5. And by the way, here also there is only 2 places 8 can go. And this 8 is blocking here. Now this becomes 8, which means this becomes 9, this becomes 8. This becomes 3, 5. As you can see, this corner marking and center marking really helps in really kind of solving it quickly as you progress through this. So there are 2 8s, but this 8 has filled here, fill this row. So this has to be 8, which means this again has to be 7. We are almost we are good. I think I can see this getting solved very quickly. By the way, there are only 3 cells, and which means we need 3 candidates, and 3 candidates already here. So this has to be one of this. We don't know which one, but 1, 2, 9, because this one cannot be 1. This is 2, 9. I haven't solved it, but it'll help us later, right? So okay, this row has only 1 cell left. We'll see 1, 2, 3 is not there. So let's put 3 here. This has 2 cells. It should be easy. 1 is not. Oops, sorry. I should actually have put in as candidate. So 1 can only this one is blocking, so 1 can only go here. 2, 3, 4, 5. This one can only be 5. Let's fill this up. What are the 3 numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 2, 4, 6. But as you can see, only 4 can come here. So 4, which means this is between them, 2 and 6 are occupying. But this 4 means this cannot be 4, which means this has to be 4. And again, that 4 has taken out the 4 here, which means this is 1. This is 4, 9. And this, sorry, this one requires two numbers, and there are only 2 places. So one is 4, 9, the other has to be 4, 9 as candidates, but then the 4 is blocking here, so this has to be 9. Oops, I keep forgetting which mode I am in, and so this has to be 4. So we filled a lot of them, right? So 9 blocks here, so this makes these 2 as 9. So between these 2, either they have to be 6 or 9, so there cannot be a third number. So I can block them like this, but okay, I can center mark them like this, but I can already see 9 is already filled up. So this one would be 6, this one would be 9. We are moving fast. 1, 2, 3. 3 is blocking here, so this is 3, 4, 5 is not there. So we've completed this box. We'll be completing this one too, but let me just quickly do this. Between them only 2, 9, but here what am I doing? 2 and 6. Okay, bottom 3 boxes are done. What about this? This one we'll be able to fill because 2, 9 is taken by these 2 cells, so only one candidate is left, which is 1. Okay, great. This one will fill quickly. Oh, look at these 2 columns. Only 1 cell for each of them is left. So let's see. Those things we can fill it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't see a 5 here. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't see a 7 here, which means what would this be? 1. I don't see a 2. 2. This could also be a 2. I don't see a 3. Yeah, but 3 is here, so this has to be a 3. That means this is a 2. All right, so we are now down to just these 3 boxes. We'll be able to fill it out. There's only one cell left here. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This has to be 2 then. This has to be 1. This has to be 9, 2, 9. This has to be 1. So obviously the last one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not there. Thank you very much. This is it's not even 26 minutes. I was talking, and therefore it kind of felt like it was, I went slow. So this is probably a, 15, less than 20 minutes, definitely. But I think somewhere around 17 minutes, you can finish it. All right. Thanks for watching. See you next time.